Progress.
Good evening. Welcome. Everyone is doing well. So today we have chosen the theme, procrastination. So in the Sunday's message, the main theme was how many times we procrastinate. And the song that we sometimes sing, Papa said is, what is that song called? Gege. Gege means kar lenge, ban jayenge. It's like it will happen, we will do it, but we sometimes procrastinate. And then the two types, Papa mentioned that Maya comes. What are the two types in Sunday's Murli? Yeah. Carelessness and royal laziness. Papa mentioned do a class, do a discussion amongst yourselves of how this, Maya can come and take us away from our goal. Right? So that's where we thought to take up this topic of procrastination today. Acha. So if we were to define procrastination, how would we do that? What is procrastination? What is the Hindi word for procrastination? Talna. Right. Talna. Right. So how would we define procrastination? Any thoughts?
You don't even need to take an action, but
Uh-huh.
you experience barrier
Right.
in form of carelessness
Right.
and laziness that you're not taking an action.
Yeah. Sometimes, in psychology, they call it action paralysis. Action paralysis means we want to do something, but there's something inside that is stopping us from doing it. Yeah. And many times what happens is, if we have a good thought, we sometimes postpone it. It's like, okay, but this may not be practical. Let me wait. But if we have a negative thought, then sometimes we don't wait. We just act on it. So we actually need to procrastinate the waste or the negative, but sometimes we procrastinate the positive. Right? Right. And so, like in this image, it says, right, like sometimes if we just delay things, and it's not just about like a physical action, but it's more about a mental state that doesn't allow us to really go with the flow. And I was just thinking this morning, like uh, there is one stage in our life when we would never procrastinate. We would just simply have a thought and just run with it, do things with it. And what would that stage be? And it comes in everyone's life. Huh? Eating, yes, eating. When you're a child, right? When you're a child, you don't complicate things, right?
So it's not complete.
So I have a thought and I do it. I don't think what will others think, right? I don't think, whether it is, you know, like it's like I just have a thought and instantly I do it. But later sometimes we get clogged, the mind gets clogged in a lot of thoughts. And that's where when we overthink, we don't, we sometimes would go into kind of a loop, then, we get stuck there, right? So let's try and understand procrastination today from a couple of different perspectives, and then we'll see how to uh, kind of create a state of being where we naturally wouldn't procrastinate. So this one says, what is procrastination? So is it a time management problem or our way of coping with challenging emotions induced by certain tasks? So, so it says it's not just time management, right? It's more, it's like some emotions that come in our mind, right? About certain tasks. It's like, suppose it is, we want to do something for our spiritual effort, right? But somewhere the mind isn't fully convinced and there's some blockage. There's some mental gap which is making us uncomfortable in performing that task. And that's actually what procrastination really is. So, of course, it's related to time management, but it's not just that. It's more to do with our state of mind. Right? Mhm. In Hindi, there is a very famous um, kind of a proverb that we grew up with, and it is called "Kal kare so, aaj kar, aaj kare so, ab," which means that what you were to do tomorrow, do it today, and what you had to do today, do it now, because. And then the next line says, "पल में प्रलय होएगी और एक करेगो कब," means in a moment anything can happen. And so, when will you do it? It's like, don't just rely on time that everything will be favorable, but, just, if you have a thought, just get it done. Right? Mhm. Mm. Acha. So it's a quote, it says, procrastination is like a credit card. It's a lot of fun until you get the bill. Mhm. Right. So I can procrastinate. So it says it's a lot of fun until you get the bill. Mhm. Right. So I can keep on using it, right, and be happy about it. But when I get the bill, it's then that's what Baba says, like, uh, you have to make effort over a long period of time, right? So that's why Baba says, don't procrastinate, don't understand the value of what you have, who you have in your life, and don't procrastinate. Right? Mhm. Right. Mhm. Sure. There's another quote. It says, procrastination isn't laziness, it's fear. Right? Today I'm kind of not so comfortable and afraid of certain emotions inside the mind, and that's why I procrastinate. Right? So it's not just laziness, it's fear. Mhm. Fear. And we know the full form of fear, right? What is fear? FEAR. And yes, it's called false evidence appearing real, right? And we can kind of all relate to it, right? Like whenever we are afraid of something, it's like the mind is projecting some false evidence, and the mind is trying to make the soul believe that it is real. And that's where the soul is afraid, right? And that's what procrastination, you know, you know, is born out of fear. So it's like fear of the unknown or fear of, you know, it's like somewhere losing whatever I'm holding on to, fear of, you know, losing the comfort kind of that I have in this moment. Mhm. Mm. Acha. So there is a little clip, and it's it's a famous kind of uh, scientist who has done some research on procrastination, and he describes what happens inside the brain of a procrastinator. And so he gives a little, talk. So we'll just listen to it and then we'll continue. Mhm. So, did everyone follow that video? Mhm. So he describes um, what happens actually inside the mind. So the sketch he kind of drew is this one. So there is a rational decision maker, right? So suppose have we have a good meditation and then we have made a plan for the day. I want to practice this point today, right? And then suddenly it says a instant gratification monkey that comes up, right? So what happens is the steering wheel is kind of hijacked by the monkey, and the monkey is not bothered about the bigger picture, just forgets. He's just too focused on just easy things and fun things. And the monkey is very short-sighted, you know and then so the monkey kind of takes over and kind of hijacks. But the monkey listens to only, who does he listen to?
The monster
Monsters. Which
panicking.
means, yeah, which means only when there is a deadline, right? Okay, now I have to work. Now I have to work, right? And then the monkey says, okay, now, I have to work. And that's so true, right? I mean, I can relate to it so much, especially when we were studying or even, with projects. We sometimes don't begin until it's, the delivery date time. And then it's like the panic kicks in, oh, I have to deliver. And then we start to do things. And and I feel like what Baba talks about is many times this, right? So first thing I feel like Baba talks about is, fixing a date. So fixing a date actually sets in some kind of a panic. Panic in the sense, okay, I have to do something at least. Because otherwise the monkey mind will just take over and we will just kind of keep on procrastinating, and that's why when we say, okay, I have to do this by this date, this date is this, it actually allows us to keep us on track, right, with things. And then, Baba talks about how, Maya is like a monkey. It will just trick that, the mind, which is, Baba is trying to make us Trikaldarshi. It's like a rational thinker, like from the soul's perspective. I think, okay, this is right for me. This is not right for me. I should spend more time here. I should spend less time here. I should prioritize this way. But then the Abhiman or the monkey mind will kick in, and that's where, and he was explaining that, when in tasks that there are no deadlines, and that's where like the monkey mind can completely take over. And then we forget that, and that's what Baba is keeps on reminding us that, and if we see, like, we start the day with meditation and knowledge and trying to have that rational, you know, but during the day, we will see that somewhere the monkey has taken over. Right? And that's where we, have to realize that that's where I've started to procrastinate. Mhm. Right. And I'm not, I've somewhere forgotten the kind of, importance of this moment, this time, and, you know, and that's the whole game, right? That's the Maya tricking, right? Mhm. Right. So I thought it's a nice kind of way to understand that how procrastination comes in. And so what should we do when procrastination happens. So when the monkey mind has taken over, what should we do? Get the panic monster in, right? Get the panic monster in, right? And what else we should do?
Remind us of the larger picture, like Baba says, Trikaldarshi.
Trikaldarshi, yes, right? Trikaldarshi, right? And that's what Baba says, like not to get too lost in the drama that, we forget the larger picture, right? So from time to time to take a break and, just reformat the self that who am I, where have I come from? This is all story, this is all drama. God is with me. Not to forget that bit. So to take on, to take some pause and then, go back to the basics, go back to the basics, right? Mhm. Right. Mhm. So in addition to this, uh, there is some other study where talk about the different types of procrastination. So there is not just one type, but different types of procrastination. And I thought that this is also an interesting study to kind of learn from. So one form it says is a perfectionist. Perfectionist means if things are not perfect, I'm not ready to do. I will postpone things until I find that now I can do everything perfectly, right? So that's like a perfectionist trap. So I will keep on procrastinating things, right? The other is what we call as overdoer. So I'll do more than what is needed to be done. And so it's like, and then in the process, I can just, kind of not look at some of the important things in the, just flow of doing. Mhm. And then the other is a worrier. So I have a tendency to keep on worrying about things. And then when I'm worrying about it, then I don't have the time to actually work on it. And so that's also delaying it, right? And the other is a crisis maker. Crisis maker is I'm always, you know, f- you know, uh, in the panic, like I again like wait for the panic monster, and then until there is a very urgent emergency, I won't work. And the other is a dreamer. A dreamer is where, I'm just in my kind of la la land. I'm just thinking, imagining things, but I'm far from, doing anything, but I'm just comfortable thinking about it. So there is another chart that describes and in detail all of these. So let's see what it says. So the first is, it says the perfectionist. It says you avoid starting tasks because you're worried it won't be perfect. Because I want everything to be perfect, right? So if I have that kind of attitude, what should I do? This says aim for good enough instead of perfect. Break the task into small chunks and celebrate finishing each one. Mhm. Right. So sometimes it's like we'll say, okay, good enough is okay for me. I don't need to be perfect because otherwise I don't even, get started. But I do something and I, celebrate it. So it's like, becoming karmatit, right? It's not easy, right? So you'll say, okay, no, I'm not becoming karmatit. I'm not becoming karmatit. It's, what's the point in making effort? No. So I have to make a small, kind of, uh, I have to start somewhere. Okay, I have to do just half an hour of meditation, but I have to experience, being a soul and just focus on that. Forget about the rest, right? Because sometimes it can be too much pressure on the soul. Okay, because spirituality can become a pressure cooker also, right? Okay, because I'm not getting detached. I'm having all the emotions, right? So this is not working for me. What should I do? Right? I'm not doing things properly, right? So I have to just set some simple kind of practical, like, okay, today I'll just focus on this and I have to celebrate. And that's what I've learned over the years is like even when we write a chart, right, or kind of journal, rather than looking at not so good things, but focusing on what good that happened. What did I learn? Even if it could be a small thing, but just to focus on that rather than not so good things, because over the years then mind starts to think like it gets kind of depressed. I'm not cut out for this, and but in that process we forget the small things. And so that's what it says, celebrate the small achievements. That's important. Mhm. So the second one, it says the dreamer says you put things off because you're not good at focusing on the details. You put things off because you're not good at focusing on the details. Right? So I'm not able to kind of see the entire picture, so I'm putting it off. So it's turn your big ideas into smaller, doable steps. Make a to-do list and tick off each little task as you go. Right? So I don't need to, have to understand everything at the onset. Right? That's what they say. Like when we do a PhD or any project, right? They say, when we write a scope, right? We say, okay, even if you don't know everything, start somewhere, and eventually you will, go somewhere. And that's what in spirituality also we say, we don't know everything, right? You know, these words could be very heavy, right? Like being an angel, being a deity, right? Sometimes, but with my present state of mind, that seems too far fetched. I'm not that, right? So I shouldn't be in that dream mode, but I should, again, focus on some practical steps. Then third is it has added another one from the previous slide. It's called the rebel. The rebel. You resist doing things on a schedule because you don't like being told what to do. Some like the mind doesn't like to be told. If Baba says, okay, you have to do this, there is a resistance. Oh, and it has to come from within. I can't do things when people tell me to do this, right? It's like the rebel within is kind of not allowing me to do things. And so it says, create a schedule that works for you and stick to it. Set your own deadlines to keep things moving. So of course it talks about from a Lokic perspective, but we can understand from our spiritual perspective as well. Because sometimes it could happen, like following Srimad, there is a rebel, there is something like a resistance that is coming from inside, right? And so for that, I need to create my own schedule. Okay, I have to do this, but I have to stick to it, right? Not like the monkey take over all the time. And the next one is fourth, the anxious one, the worrier. You delay tasks because you're scared of change or stepping out of your comfort zone. Right? Sometimes I don't want to change because I don't want to step out of my comfort zone. So it says, start with easy tasks to build confidence. Gradually tackle bigger things as you get more comfortable. Right? Mhm. So again, start with simple things. And then the next is the crisis maker. It says you procrastinate because you lack the rush of working under pressure. Right? Sometimes, like people can only work under pressure. I think I am also one of them. So to also learn. It says plan ahead and set many deadlines to avoid last minute panic. Create a routine that includes time for breaks and planning. I know it's really nice way to take it to our spiritual effort. The last is the overdoer. You take on too much and then struggle to get started or finish anything. So I'll fill my plate with so many things that I'm not able to even start or finish anything. It says prioritize your tasks and tackle them one at a time. Learn to say no or delegate tasks to avoid feeling overwhelmed. Right. So it's like I'll take too many points from the Murli. I have to do this also, this also, this also, this also. But then I am, not doing any of it. Right? So it's just like a way to understand like this from a a larger perspective. So the moment I find myself in any of it, then I have to step back and reorient myself. Sure. So it all boils down to how I prioritize and how I manage my state of mind and my time during the day. So we'll watch another little story and then we'll move.
Getting distracted by little things in life is easy. By starting your day with trivial activities, you will not have the time for the things that actually matter. Whether you are a businessman, mother of four, or a professional, anyone can lose focus of the things that are important in life and fill precious time with meaningless things. In the 80s, Stephen Covey taught the importance of prioritizing the important things in life, which will enable you to do more than you ever thought was possible. His concepts still apply to life today. Even if you think you know all of this already, the visualization metaphor really hits home. This demonstration from the 7 habits of highly effective people will change how you prioritize. If you lack focus and want to do more important things in your day, you have to check out this life-changing video. Though there's never enough time to do everything, there's always enough time to do
Simple kind of demonstration. So what do we learn from it? Um, so what should we prioritize first? Big tasks, right? The big tasks, or what is most important for me, right? Me, the soul, right? What is the most important for me? And I said the jar is the time we have, and what do I do with my time is in my hands. Right? So if I focus on the sand and fill my time with the sand. So what does the sand represent? Emails, social, and if we think about thoughts, what kind of thoughts does sand represent? Waste thoughts. This one said this one is like this, think thoughts about the past, right? All of those are like sand, right? And if I fill my mind with all that, then I'll have no time less time for urgent things that need to be done, and probably no time for the important things. And because I have no time for important things, the soul will feel depleted. Even after doing so much and feel, oh, I haven't done much, I won't feel content. So I really like the way it described. In the second part, it says, okay, first I fill myself with the bigger rocks. And as I was watching the video, it felt like it is going up to the brim because it is already filling everything. And feel over where there is space. But then there is actually space that is created. So then you have time for your necessary tasks. And then there is more time to do other things also. It's like the priorities. Right? So being spiritual doesn't mean we don't have time for other social activities or other things we have. But that's not the priority. Like the priority is this, and then eventually everything gets done. So I really like this way, because then I don't feel like procrastinating, right? And I actually focus on the important things first. So if we see the most important thing, what Baba says, if we look at the thoughts in terms of the rocks, what is the most important thought I need to have all the time? Yeah, it's like being a soul and remembering God. So that in the large, that rock has to be that soul, God, and then family, relationships, work. This is the first one. And then the urgent task, whatever needs to be done in my to-do list. And then the sand comes, the rest of the thing. So I thought it was a nice way of kind of understanding. Right? There is another quote. This one says, you don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. So, spiritual journey is also like this. Sometimes we may not know how to get there, right? Finally, but I just need to focus on this step, to just focus on today, just to make today a beautiful day for me, just to make today, filled with lightness, happiness, love, just to take that first step. That's all. And then the rest will come as it comes, right? But sometimes I can plan so much, but again, it's like a dreamer. I'm just planning so much. Right? This one says the most effective way to do it is to do it. The most effective way to do it is to do it. Means not to think about how was it, did it go? No, just do it. That's it. Yeah. Sometimes we may just complicate things by thinking too much. It's okay, just do it. Whatever it is, just do. The next says continuous improvement is better than delayed perfection. So, even in projects, right? That's what we like. Keep on working. Don't think that, okay, I'll be perfect but just keep on doing something. And I always feel in spiritual journey also, it's like, okay, it's always good to have one weakness because that allows me to stay grounded in that, okay, I'm working on this. And it's always, I mean, these days we don't talk much, but in early days, whenever we would meet someone in knowledge, we would always say, okay, what is your current effort? They'll say, oh, I'm working on laziness, or I'm working on ego, or I'm working on this. Not like all the good experiences, but this. I'm working on this weakness. Because that allows us to stay grounded, because that's the reality. We have to continuously improve. Right? And that's how we are learning. Sure. And when we talk about a lot about doing, Baba talks about being. Being. Because only when we are, only when there is being, doing comes later. And so sometimes we feel that, we have to do this, we have to do this. So this one says, I don't need to do anything in order to be loved by God. Just need to be myself. Because sometimes I may think that I need to do this to be loved by God, to do that to be loved by God. But the reality is I just need to be myself to be loved by God. So then this state of mind of just being is actually one of the most important rocks to have. Just be. Just be. And so that's why, like I said, just to take time out from the day, just to be yourself. Just to disconnect, just to be. And Baba says, like, whenever we think of doing, so what should we think? So there is one slogan I'm experimenting with, and it's helping me. So I heard it in one of the classes. It says, okay, I haven't done anything. I don't have to do anything. Because I haven't done anything, because God has done everything. Because God is Karan Karavanar. I haven't done. And if I haven't done, I don't have to do anything. God has to do. It's his job. So I have, trying to take the I out from the picture. And that kind of creates lightness. And when things that get done, instead of feeling, ego or, I should get credit, just simply say, oh, thank God. And because he did it. Who are we? Right? So it's like whenever the doing comes, just to, hand it over to God to remember him. Yeah. This one quote says, you need me time, not because others don't deserve your attention, but because you do. Right? So me time, like just to giving attention to the self is me time. That's what, no, like Dadi Janki would say, like she would be very busy in the meetings and everything, and and then from time to time she would say, "Oh, bring an orange for me," and then sisters would peel, and she said, "No, no, no, I have to peel it myself," and she would peel, and she would take proper time to peel it, eat it, and sisters would say, "Dadi, we would do it." She would say, "No, it's my time. It's me time. I'm disconnecting from everything and connecting back to the source, to the juice within." And so again, it's like, it doesn't have to be a very long time, just a minute. In the busy day, just a minute to just, when I'm going on a coffee break or just a walking, just to take a break, be myself, me time. Right? Cha. And even in they say science also, they say, what is the key to productivity? It says tapping into your flow state. So, they say when you are in the flow, you can actually achieve, you can do so much more. So it's like when I'm in the being mode, and I'm not too much, my thoughts are not too much, kind of convoluted, then, it's like the natural reflexes take over. And there is a very nice kind of alignment with the life. And so only those thoughts will come that are going to happen. Like other thoughts won't come. Like that's what dadis would say, right? Like Dadi Janki would generally say, okay, you know, she'll say, and that's Baba also says, plain, like keep your intellect plain, so that you'll just get, you'll tap into your flow state, and then thoughts will automatically come. Like even sportsmen, they would also do this. Like that's why they say when there's a high pressure game, why do people get nervous? It's like there was a tennis match and, final of a tennis match, and then the top ranker, he forgot how to serve. He couldn't serve because of the nerves, because he couldn't tap into because the mind is active. What will happen if I do this? What will happen? There's so much at stake. And so whenever the mind is too much in that thinking mode, it is not in the flow state. So I can't be myself. And so that's where I just need to, when the sportsmen, they say, okay, when I'm in my zone, then my natural reflexes take over, right? And that's what happens with life too. So I'm just myself and just I allow the natural, kind of, the soul to take over. Cha. Then, Baba would also, talk about, so, soul consciousness being, and then remembering God is Karavanhar, right? In this, and then the third aspect of our spiritual journey is one is self, other is God. What's the third one? Drama or the time, right? The time. And this one quote says, like this quote, it says, the bad news is time flies. The good news is you are the pilot. Right? We say time flies, but it's actually up to me how I use my time. So I am the pilot of my time. So if I just, focus on making, just this one day, just beautiful for the soul, in Baba's company, then everything is good. Right. Acha. Acha. So we'll just pause here. And so thank you so much for your time and attention. Let's take a moment and just go within and realize that we're all on this beautiful journey, the spiritual journey. And whilst being on this drama, on this stage of life, we have this clear vision, this understanding, realization of the truth of who I am, who do I belong to. And then with this realization of being an eternal soul on a journey through time, belonging to the one divine, I allow this this third eye, this inner wisdom to just be present. And as I come into the action, the play, I prioritize my time such that my attention is never lost from this truth. And then, whilst I play my part, I enjoy every moment whilst remembering the current Karavanhaj, God, and just focusing on making every moment, every day beautiful. So I don't procrastinate, but I live every moment fully. Om Shanti. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, family. Sure. So, maybe if anyone would like to share any thoughts, please feel free to. Sure. Anyone online would like to go first? Sure. So we have some angels here to share.
I really like the wheel, the types of procrastination. It breaks down to understand where you struggle the most. I recognize where I struggle the most. One is trying to be perfect, and the second one is because you're trying to be perfect, not doing anything, and then you react to the stress of like at last minute, the pressure prompted. And then you're still not satisfied because now you don't have time. So you're not doing neither. Not perfect or no, you're doing properly. Right. So but it's just that recognition helps to really think about what to do. Also, I came across this called Eat the Frog concept. Somebody shared with me by Brian Tracy. He's a author. Basically, eat the frog means very similar to procrastination techniques to take care. Is first thing in the morning, you just reflect what's the biggest thing you want to take care of, which you really don't like doing. It's challenging, but it's going to bring the biggest impact. And that's translates to eat the frog, because nobody likes to eat the frog. So once you eat it, first thing in the day, you'll feel like you've accomplished a lot, because that removes that entire weight on your shoulder that you accomplished. So I've tried that, but the thing is I've not been consistent. But it does make a big difference for your day, your state of mind too. So that reminds me of the content you shared today. So thank you.
Thank you.
Shanti. I think it was really good to just reflect as you were speaking. Good to reflect on where we can, how we do things, where we can do things slightly differently. So that was really nice. 2 points that I took for myself is, one is that there's something in a child that doesn't prevent them from just do what they want to do, but something that we lose as we grow up. So something acquired. So if something is acquired, we can shed it out as well. और दूसरा है कि बाबा के लिए कि that I don't need to do anything in order to be loved by God. I just have to be.
Thank you.
Thank you for the session. I'll take my two key takeaways would be one is the procrastination view. Like Nishman said, I think it's very interesting with the details that you shared is to figure out where I'm kind of stuck and what I need to do to at least move. And the other one I really liked that I need to focus on is how do I fill the jar? Am I filling it with sand first versus the big rocks? So that's something I would take back and work on. Thank you so much.
I like there are two causes like laziness and another one is unbelievable. And there's others. So last time only maybe I recognized that there is a problem with me with this too. And today I came to know that there is a monkey like a Maya that comes in between whenever I thought like I'll do that. And monkey comes because monkey wants like take it easy and fun. So I'll focus more on that, like monkey nahi aana chahiye beech mein. And another one is like jar example, जो कि कैसे prioritize करना है. Like I recognize that I spend most of the time on first one, the sign, like emails, phone, and I'll take care next time कि कैसे prioritize. The most important thing is, as you said, like we are a soul and the Baba first, and then the rest of the thing, family and other. So I'll try to be consistent in this. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. Thanks. Anyone else would like to? Thank you so much for your time and presence, and have a good rest of the evening. Om Shanti. Thank you.